Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the TNT Podcast 106. It's the number before
It's
Friedman
correct.
freaks out about it. Confirmed
Yes.
before the podcast.
No trouble here.
We definitely have a short podcast today. We're not doing a topic, just a little bit of news. Just to remind everyone that we're still live. No, it's fine. No, it's
they
fine.
go on 2 hours.
I can actually go through the Weeb shit in like 4 minutes.
But I wanna play Warzone or something, so we need to end quick.
Fair enough.
I'd want to play Plunder, but it's only trios right now, which sucks. All right, so as always, like I said, my name's Timpedia, and on my right,
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
and on the left,
is just Tyler.
and across the invisible fourth.
The amazing AIDS.
Let's get to our top story tonight.
Yeah.
Insert silly sound effects and loud noises
Oh
here.
crap!
And
Where's
big
my soundboard?
flashy transition. Oh god, not again. So, you know how we reported a while ago that Naughty Dog had delayed Last of Us 2, and then in the last like 3 days, someone
it ain't
leaked.
delayed no more.
Someone leaked like the entire story ending, and then Naughty Dog went, "Oh, by the way, it's coming. What is it? July or
June 19th.
June 19th. And Ghost of Tsushima also got confirmed for like June 12th.
July.
July?
17th.
No, I got all the dates wrong, but I knew
Ooh,
they.
right near my birthday. Very exciting. I'll have something
It's
fun
like
to play.
listening to a psychic guess somebody's past.
I'm getting
a
June.
letter A.
I'm getting a month that starts with J.
Like, oh, yes, your dog. I do, and she loves you very much. Ah!
I'm hearing English, but really, I'm sure it's bark, bark, bark. But yeah, so you guys who care about Last of Us, please.
Yo, man, it's gonna be shit.
Damn.
Whoa! Hey!
Okay, all right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Damn this clickbait.
No, I am very it's not gonna be shit. I am very skeptical about it. Aiden and I have been talking about this in length at work a lot.
Real quick, can I just ask if you guys read the spoilers?
Absolutely.
No.
I have read
that's what I wanted to.
reactions
Okay,
to the spoilers, but I have not seen any spoilers or know of.
that's
like,
fine because I wanted to make sure for those listening at home, in case they have or haven't, we're not going to spoil anything. It's just these guys are going to talk about the game and the fact that spoilers happened. So okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoilers. Like I'm not. Ooh, jeez.
I honestly couldn't spoil anybody because I don't know what the spoilers are, so it's like, you know.
That's what I mean. You
don't
guys
know
aren't going to
anything.
spoil because you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're good.
I'm just like, I don't know. I feel actually pretty strongly towards this. Like there's a lot of things going around this thing, and it's very messy. But I'll go back to like me being very skeptical about this game. Like I'll just talk about the game itself right now. I didn't like the fact that I think they only delayed it once or twice before this. But the fact that it got so close to the release date for them to just before the, everything happened, they're like, "Oh, we're going to move it back again," or like, delay it. And then it's like, not only are we going to delay it, we're going to remove the multiplayer, which like a decent community like had still played for a long time. And for them to take that out is like, well, that's weird. Like not only are they delaying it, they're removing like multiplayer, like what's going on. And then during the whole coronavirus, it's like, oh, well, it's weird that, they're delaying it, or they delayed it indefinitely, especially when all these other games are coming out at the same time. Like they didn't really say anything. They just said like, oh yeah, this is just not happening. Even though the game is probably at completion. Or maybe it wasn't. Like they didn't convey a lot of information to us as a consumer that really gives me any sort of faith in this product.
Damn.
Yeah, that's just like my take on the game itself, and like me, like based off of what we've seen and heard so far, like I don't know how, like I don't like this. And there's like a bunch of other things like, about like people not getting paid in time, and like how they're really bad with crunch, and like this was covered like years ago or have been multiple times, and like it's possible that this has been a link to that, like a disgruntled worker not getting paid on time, or just like something. Like it's not fully confirmed about that, but it's a pretty big deal, and it's kind of fucked up. Actually,
Yeah.
it's not kind of, it is fucked up. I don't know, like, what do you
This
guys
is
think,
one of
Aiden?
those
Like, you played
Oh
it.
yeah, sorry.
Like, you played the first one, and like you're like me, like you're anticipating this.
Have you gone and actually read the spoilers?
We just established
we
that
just-
they haven't.
No,
Freeman.
no.
Okay, sorry.
We have not.
Sorry.
Freeman.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that your anger is more about the development side and not that you're not happy with how the story
Freeman,
plays
No,
out.
based
were
off
too-
no, it is purely off of what I like, what has been shown to us and released to us. Like, from when I see games that get put like delayed like this, it's never usually a good sign, especially the way how they've been like treating this whole timeline. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Freeman, you didn't hear this because you're too busy writing your joke in the show notes right now.
That's probably what happened.
I think I know Aiden hasn't still said anything, but I just from the outside, this is definitely one of those cases of it sucks that one bad apple spoiled what is, I'm sure, thousands of hours of work from tons of people. Actually, just today, this isn't really related, but it similar, not similar, but Riot put out a video today of the prep that their team did for their Worlds live show, like the pre-show for the Worlds League of Legends tournament, and it was called 10 months 10 minutes, and it was really good, and it showed how like this insane amount of work goes into something that for most people lasts maybe a couple hours in the case of a video game if they don't play multiplayer. And it just kind of sucks that so much crazy hard work is just getting kind of blasted from literally one guy posting some story spoilers when he's angry.
Yeah, that was a big thing of mine. Like I don't really respect, like it's a little personal, I guess, because it's like I like have worked with people, and like I know people who are in the industry, and for like someone to do something like that, like I don't know, like I feel like you're really fucking over a lot of people who like that, like these are your own coworkers, right? That like have been in the ditch with you, and you're gonna go and do this. Like I don't know, I find a huge problem with that. And like, yeah, it's all right, it's coming out, like Tyler, you got your wish of it like coming out like earlier, but it's like, yeah, not like this though. Like I didn't want anything like this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd rather it just come out when it came out, like, and it's not like I was super pissed about it or anything like that. Like that it, I was bummed, but I was like, whatever. Like I can wait. I have other games that I can play anyway. Not like it's a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. What do you think? Because you've played the other game.
I mean, I'm not gonna look at the spoilers because I don't want to be involved in any of that. Is it fucked up that it happened? Yeah, but it's like whatever the reasons are, like that's for somebody else to sort out. So I mean, most of my feelings you've already covered for the most part. So I'm following that A+ paper in class with my shitty C minus.
Change here, dot here.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, I don't know what's going on at Naughty Dog, and I mean, I feel like most people probably don't, except for those on the inside. And like, whatever the reasons were, I mean, like it's a disservice not only to like your coworkers, but to also all the fans that are like that. People have been waiting years for this game, and like, what I mean, yeah, I don't know if you're like what your reason for being spiteful like this is, but it is what it is.
This is one of those situations where like nothing positive actually came out of it.
Yeah, I mean, like this really is just a negative all around, because I mean, like nobody gained anything here, I don't think.
Nah, it's just an all-around feels bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not the. I mean, as far as spoilers go, though, it's apparently pretty egregious, the leaks that
Yeah. No,
that
it's
got out there. So like, it's
yeah.
not like, oh, hey guys, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is gonna have like all the characters. Ooh, ah. Like, no, this is like literally the entire like plot of the game, and basically the reason that people would want to play it.
Right.
And they will have probably lost sales over it. So that kind of
Yeah.
sucks. Uh,
It's obviously no surprise that like they said fuck it, we're coming out with this release date.
Yeah.
yeah,
They have literally no choice but to do it, or else because if they wait any longer, it's just gonna fuck them up.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
It's just gonna be more expensive, so it's like, all right, let's just release it now.
I just hope they're not like in such a desperate situation where they're trying to push this out unfinished though.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like there
definitely
needs
worried
there
about.
still. I get that it was leaked, but if it's not a full game, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot again. I mean, like it already happened with this leak. That's one bullet, and you're gonna put a few more in there if you release a lackluster product.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if there's metrics to back it up, but this is a gut feeling to throw out here that every game that launches with it's like, oh, the online's coming later, the online never takes off 'cause it's always too late.
Absolutely.
Yes.
unless you're Grand Theft Auto and you plan it
Oh
in
my god,
advance.
yeah.
Because like I mean, yeah, it's broken, but it works, and the online still has a strong community to
But
this day.
that's also a very unique thing.
That's
Yeah,
Rockstar
that's
though. Like
Yeah,
what I was
that's a
saying. Like
big name.
I was gonna say, it's different when, yeah, like they plan it right, and they even come out and say like, yeah, see, like we're doing multiplayer, but like you're not gonna have it for, a month or a couple weeks, which is smart on their part.
But also
Yeah.
Red
Well,
Dead is just like dead, and it just shows to show how much time it took for GTA to get where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they approached it properly with GTA though, because they're like, "Hey
Yeah.
guys, you're not gonna get it for a month," but it didn't matter because everybody was playing the game over that month anyways.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, and then by the time online came out, it landed at a time where most people had finished the game at that point, but it hadn't been so long that they've completely lost interest in the game.
Like,
so it fell within that window where they were like okay to do that.
Last of Us 2 might be
Yeah.
incredible, but it's probably just going to be a narrative game you finish in like 10 hours. And then,
Yeah, it's
unless DLC comes out or you're one of those people who likes to play games again on higher difficulty for no good reason, immediately, like, why are you going to boot it?
honestly, The Last of Us multiplayer for me at least was not very memorable, and honestly, I forgot it had multiplayer until
Until
Tyler
Tyler
reminded
said
me.
I fucking loved it so much. I loved it.
It's like how
I,
I
like-
frequently forget that Doom 2016 had multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because,
Wait, Doom has multiplayer?
And Eternal does
I didn't
too.
even know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, both
Yeah,
Doom
I
games
saw-
have had different
I thought it was
multiplayer.
single player only.
Hell no,
Nah,
dude.
it's like an arena. It's an arena type shooter.
Today I
Like,
learned.
Well,
They have Quake
multiplayer.
for that.
True.
Yeah, they got better games. They're
Oh,
Unreal.
whatever happened to Quake?
Quake has what is it? Quake Live? Is
Quake
there free
Arena
service
or
right now?
something? What the hell is it
Something like
called?
that.
Yeah, Quake
going
Live
pretty
has been
good.
around for quite a while.
It's pretty big. They have World Championships at QuakeCon every year, I think. I'm sure it's not huge, but it's still an active game.
Yeah. No, I was actually pretty let down by the multiplayer. Them like doing it because like I still keep in contact with my buddies, like literally almost every day, and like even though we stopped playing that game, like we still talk every day. Um, and like we were all talking about how like it was gonna be super hype because like yeah, like we'll boot it back up, like or like we'll play the multiplayer on this and like yeah. So we've been talking about this literally all like for the last couple of days. This has been going on. So I don't know. Like I guess it kind of like it does impact me just a little bit more too, because like I don't know. Also, it was different. The multiplayer was a lot different than anything else. It was like a good stealth action that wasn't like Metal Gear Solid because Metal Gear Solid was way too hectic. This one was like extremely slow. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that. And we'll see how it goes.
Yep. Moral of the story: leaks suck,
Yeah.
and nobody wins. Don't leak secret projects, kids. Unless doing so would mean the ultimate benefit of mankind, then you can leak
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
But otherwise, don't leak Last of Us 3 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, no, I can't think of. This isn't leaked, so
Not
this
a
is
spoiler.
leak, it
This
was
is just
official
like
release,
a.
right?
this is
This is
so
hype
minor.
shit.
But this
Leaking
is,
Last of Us 3 would
this-
make you a monster. You know what else is a monster?
that's not
Two,
that. That's
two
not that.
monsters.
What a transfer.
This is so minor. This is such a nothing, but that's what most of this news is. I don't even know who it is, but an official image came out for Godzilla versus Kong. It's literally just the two monsters kind of like roaring, probably at nothing, unrelated clips from shots from the movie, probably. But it's just cool to have something to remind us that this movie's still coming out, and I can't fucking wait to go see Godzilla vs. Kong. And me and Tyler can go see it together again because I'll be back in New Jersey by then.
Yeah. We're gonna fucking. I'm pretty hype about it.
I mean, everybody loves a good monster movie.
So what
No,
was
but
the?
if it's anything like like King of the Monsters, though, bro,
I still haven't seen that.
What's the scheduled
it's
release
So
date?
oh my god,
good. I don't know.
it's
but let's find
definitively
out.
probably the best monster.
November
movie
20,
I've seen.
2020. Gotta love those triple numbers.
Yeah. Oh god, I can't. I just like
You know what?
King of the
else
Monsters.
is-
Look, King of the Monsters didn't set the world on fire, but
I don't give a fuck. It's
No,
exactly what
Tyler,
I wanted.
Can you just let me agree
No,
with that sentiment?
I won't. I
Yes,
gotta say it.
I agree completely. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Like, the story was who cares? Like, oh, bioterrorists. They free the Titans. But, like, Tyler, you know what shot I'm talking about? That shot in IMAX with Ghidorah?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Like, all right. So there's that one. There's the Mothra shot. There's the
Oh my-
fucking. That was like gorgeous. Like just fucking everything, man. But I'm excited. I thought that the last like King Kong movie wasn't that bad. It was like weird.
It was cool.
I
It was
guess.
kind of fun. It was a different take on him.
Did it change up the formula, or was it just like a
It was
retelling
more like
with a modern twist?
no, it's a totally different movie.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason it's called Kong Skull Island, not Kong from Skull Island.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, it's
If that's
it's
any
cool.
sort of
It made Kong look pretty badass, and I can't wait to see them fight each other. That's gonna be
It's
so
gonna be-
fucking rad. Oh my god.
Fucking dope.
All we need to do is see one shot of Kong picking up Godzilla and throwing him. Or like do a wrestling move on Godzilla. That would be
Oh my god.
Fuck.
then we'd be anime even more.
It'd be more WWE than the WWE.
But yeah, I'm just glad to remember that this movie is coming, and I can't wait. But speaking of what's coming, HBO Maximum.
HBO Max is coming after. I don't understand what
Max
takes
is
the company so
coming.
long
Action
to
is
launch these
coming.
streaming services, but we're getting HBO Max end of May for $15 a month, which seems like a lot. Given that isn't HBO Go like $10?
Okay, so what is Max?
Yes, please
I
explain
already
this.
pay $15 a month for HBO though. What the fuck?
Please tell us what
Do
this
I
is.
get this for free?
So HBO Max is HBO content plus additional stuff. Like I know Studio Ghibli movies are in there. Just 'cause I saw this thing on Anime News Network. But I'm gonna do a quick search and see if HBO Max has any actual like additional content. Looks like Warner Brothers is throwing all their shit in there too. So it's like a mix of stuff.
So is it just HBO but more?
I think so. Hold
Weird.
on. Oh, so it has everything that Warner. I wonder if. All right. So it has like Rick and Morty. And it has Friends. It has all the stuff that like Warner Media owns. So
Okay.
in addition to like the normal movies that HBO would be licensing for like broadcasting on HBO.
Warner Brothers stuff, and I guess some other things as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think this content would really be worth the extra $5 a month, though?
I'm confused as to how this is supposed to work. No, because honestly, is this something in addition to HBO Now and Go, or
I
is
think
this
it's meant to be a replacement.
Now?
It's because it's going to contain all the content of HBO Go / HBO Now.
Okay. This is just really bizarre because HBO Now is already $15 a month, and now they're releasing HBO Max, which is also $15 a month, but a different subscription.
Hold on. I'm going to see if HBO Max replaces
HBO
HBO
Now gets HBO Max as part of it for no extra cost.
So it's
Gotcha.
the same, it's
Okay.
the same
It says that
thing.
right on HBO Max's website. It says, get HBO Max with HBO Now. HBO Now subscribers billed through HBO get access to HBO Max from Warner Media at launch for no extra cost.
Interesting. So it sounds like they want you on HBO Max, but they're like
Ooh.
honoring any previous contracts. That
Only if you do it through HBO directly, though. Because if you pay HBO $15 a month, they give it to you for this. But if you
as opposed to getting it through your cable company.
Yeah.
So with the cable company, you'll get HBO and they let
you.
you get HBO Go, which is more limited than HBO Now.
Fuck all this.
Yeah, this is 10 out of 10 some cable TV bullshit happening right now.
Yes, it is. It's super annoying.
I need to legitimately.
Yo, we're getting there.
I need to get a VPN and get a server, and set up a server computer that I don't turn off, and just. Ugh.
And then,
Maybe that'll be my project when I move into a house later this year.
Just to figure out a way to anonymously sail the seven seas.
Yeah,
man,
like I said,
I'm
VPN.
you, man, where there is going to be a new wave of piracy. It's coming
It's
for
happening.
Sure.
It's building already. It definitely.
Oh, I
is.
know. Well, it's like, I mean, it's the
as
problem.
Soon as The Office comes off Netflix.
Yeah, basically.
All the norms
are
gonna go fucking crazy.
The subscription services have gone too far now, and with things like Plex existing, I have so many people's Plex servers, I don't need subscriptions anymore.
I need more. The only two I have are from my old job 3 years ago. Still, I don't have a single.
You guys have Plex servers?
Yeah,
I have a Plex account.
Finish the meme there.
Oh, you got.
They're not my servers though.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's the new wave of piracy right there. People are just gonna share Plex servers. One person's going to download it off the Pirate Bay, and it's gonna propagate forever.
Oh, dude, one of those coworkers had one of those automatic ones set up, where he had one of those more curated websites where he had a premium account.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't pay for. He had just uploaded so much. He had it all set up. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. I still pull stuff from his Plex account wherever he gets it from. I don't know. But yeah, man, fuck more streaming services. This is so annoying.
Yeah, the more they fragment, the more it's gonna.
I mean, this is what led to it, and then Netflix, and then when it was Hulu and Netflix were the first two that everyone's like, okay, fine, I'll pay for two. And then it's
because there were different kinds of things.
Yes.
One you actually watched some TV shows on. The other you stream movies. That's pretty much it. You just stream movies on.
Yeah.
The big problem is everyone's pricing their own services like they had Netflix's catalog at its peak, and none of them have Netflix's catalog at its peak and are charging more.
Yeah. Because everybody wants a piece of the fucking pie on their own time.
I think the problem is most people aren't tech savvy enough to actually pirate effectively.
Hell no.
I don't know, man. I know 8 different adults who can't use a computer who pay for streaming services.
Freeman.
Who literally don't know how to pirate.
All right. 2 of my groomsmen who I've been playing video games with. Who you guys know?
If you're gonna take the Reddit demographic, I'm gonna throw that out because we're all the Reddit demographic.
What? No. What are you talking? No.
Everyone in your groomsmen.
No, they're not. 2 separate groomsmen who I've known much longer than the rest of you, who I've been playing games with. I told you guys I was playing Alvin and Ed.
Alvin and Ed.
I'm
very aware. I'm aware of who you're talking about.
Freeman, one of them was our valedictorian, and the other one earns more money than all of us put together.
Okay.
And both of them are on laptops from 5 years ago and can't, until they bought new laptops last week because we started playing games during quarantine, and neither one of them is able to successfully figure out how to host a Game Ranger lobby or even how to do multiplayer for most of the games we play. It's impossible.
And you shouldn't be shocked.
Man, I'm just saying,
every day.
bro, I was using Game Ranger when I was fucking 12. All
yeah,
right?
I know.
No, in their defense, Game Ranger's garbage.
No.
Do you know
Yes, but
Freeman.
that's fine.
that doesn't
No.
excuse
Anyway, sorry,
that.
Tim. I thought you were presenting something opposite of what I was saying, but it seems like you're backing it up with this comment.
I'm saying that even smart people, very smart guys, are so tech illiterate. It's mind-boggling. I legitimately think we just can't see it because we just live it so much every day that, like, and these, I mean, Tyler and Aiden do IT at a hospital. You guys are the front lines. Like, Tyler, there's a reason you just said Aiden shouldn't be surprised.
Front line, Aiden, you heard it.
Like, yeah, I know. Doctors with fucking 20 years of education and schooling, and it's like, I can't plug in my mouse.
My iPad won't connect to the Wi-Fi.
As someone who learns something new with programming every day, it boils down to the idea that take something. To most people, it doesn't matter until the day that it matters, and once it matters, they'll know. But until then, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, the product of innovation, my friend.
Yeah,
sure, but
literally that.
Yeah, but
there's also a knowledge issue.
In this day and age,
but until it matters, it doesn't matter.
Everything, yeah, but I expect some basic computational abilities, and people don't even have that. I get that you're 60 years old, but you still grew up with everybody else into the fucking computer age.
You say that, Aiden.
Yeah, I know, but fuck, it's so bad.
I had a person
It's
today ask me how to
bad.
copy shit from Excel. Let that fucking sink in. And this person's probably been working in her position longer than I've been alive. So,
No, that's a real, but that's real though. IT is not doing IT. It's you have to learn and be able to do other people's jobs for them because they are actually incapable. And if you can do IT, you can literally do any job involved with IT because you have to be able to do their jobs to figure out their shit.
So real quick, because we're on this mini topic, some stats came out as a result of everyone trying to do work from home or homeschooling. But they found that a majority of Japanese youth do not know how to use computers. They've gotten by so far entirely on cell phones.
Yep.
But see, it's
That
the
makes
same
sense.
application.
Typing essays
No.
on their phones.
What the how?
Keyboard.
You just type out the way you normally would.
No, man. I can't. No, man.
The thumbs is totally different from typing.
Nah, man.
Tyler,
no.
it's Tyler.
Get those motherfuckers Mario teaches typing too.
Don't they mean?
We need to
hold
call
on,
it Mavis
hold on,
Beacon.
hold on. Don't they mean typing
Mavis
of the
Beacon.
dead? Are you serious? Come on. You can't hit me with this bullshit. Not at all.
Just to clarify, a majority of school-age Japanese people
I don't
are
care.
computer literate.
I don't think
I
it's
don't
crazy
give
to
a
say
shit.
kids in America.
And we're trending that way too.
Yeah.
From what I
This
heard,
is
we're now
fascinating.
reaching the point where a majority of people under 18 are using their first computer when they go to college. That's when they get their first computer. Because
I
you can
can't
get by
stand
with a phone until now.
Yep.
I can't stand this. I
Yep.
can't. So you're saying are we the apex fucking
Yes.
generation?
Yes,
Jesus
we were
Christ.
there during the transformation years between having offline to having internet to having phones. So we
I don't like
had
this
to learn all
conversation.
three.
Yep.
But the new generation never
I
learned
don't like
before
this.
phones.
So
And right now,
Valorant Beta.
A whole
came
new world.
out.
let's get back to PC and do something that the new kids can't figure
I don't
out.
like this trend of conversation, so I'm gonna quickly change the subject.
No,
Nah, man,
the
this
only
is
Go
reason
for
interesting.
it.
I
We'll
enjoy
solve
it.
our Valorant.
the only reason kids need computers is to play esports. Speaking of esports, a
Yes.
new
Nah, dude,
esport.
Fortnite's on mobile.
Yeah, but are pros from mobile or are they from PC?
Yo, mobile has its pro scene.
Does it? Fuck
Does
you.
it really?
Probably.
For sure, there's a
Podcast
mobile pro
canceled.
scene.
Podcast canceled.
Myself.
I can't wait for the first esports tournament. Everyone just pulls out their phones.
So Valorant. Valorant's
It's
beta
not going to be an esport. Sorry.
Nope.
So wait,
definitely
hold on.
is.
Let's just say what it is in case but I'm sure our audience who's listening knows what Valorant is. Valorant is a new what here? What would you call this?
Hero shooter.
Counter-Strike with
shooter?
extra steps.
But it's more of a like tactical
hero
shooter
shooter.
than
Yeah.
Overwatch or
Yeah.
TF2 is.
Yeah, so yeah, it's Riot's new game, and they pretty much built this whole hype train for it, where people had to get beta keys. They had to watch literal hours of streamers playing Valorant on Twitch, and then
And
at
that's some other
point,
bullshit, by the way. Sorry to
Yeah.
interject there, but
no,
that
no, okay, because I saw
that
you
is
do
a
it.
very poignant issue involved with all of this.
Yeah, I remember when I first found out about it, I was just scrolling through Twitch and I was like, oh, like just as randomly, like, and I don't even watch Twitch, and like these guys know, but like one day I was like, oh, I want to check out like something while I'm doing something, and I see this game and it's got like 1 million views on it at once. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And come to find out, it's how you get a beta key.
I mean, it's sneaky smart. It's not exactly
It
the most.
It's like fake free marketing.
Yeah.
That is literally what we called it. We called it in the office because we were talking about it. Fake hype. Because you're just
Yes.
getting people to say, "Oh, you got to do this exclusive thing just to get this,"
I mean,
which
how
is
many?
actually kind of smart.
I mean,
Halo 3
it's
did that.
dude, it's
A lot of
brilliant
other
because
games do
how
that.
many games have launched because of Twitch? Like Ninja. The only reason you know who Ninja is because he was on Twitch. Now he's gone. Now, basically, thankfully, but he was on Twitch.
What do you
and,
mean? He's still on Mixer.
Yeah, but it doesn't. He's irrelevant, thankfully. He's not going to come to any more shows, hopefully. But like, him, and other people made Fortnite as big as it is on Twitch. And
Yeah.
that's why Fortnite became the biggest game, was because people watched it on Twitch. So how do you do that again? Well, you make a system where people have to watch on Twitch, boost the numbers, get organic viewers to come in after the bots, or people just looking for keys. Not even bots, they're real people just wanting keys. Get them hooked on the game. They know how the game is played, so you don't need a tutorial for your closed beta. And they get in, and then they're playing the game right away.
Yep.
I still have a serious problem with
Right,
that
this
manner of
is-
beta
Sure.
key distribution, because
Totally.
that is not a beta key.
Well, let's
Like,
also
that-
address.
They are not treating this as a beta key. This is
Right.
this is a
It's
little
a promotional beta.
Yeah.
like, we need to stop calling them betas.
Yes.
Promotional pre-release.
I mean, like, I would argue. I mean, like, I feel.
Let's be real. Is the game still in
basically
beta,
out.
or is it basically completed?
It's
Oh, it's definitely in beta.
it's done.
It's-
Like, it's
no,
out.
it's
There's
done.
like there's hundreds of thousands of people playing the game.
No, this game is basically done. As a person who has played this game, it is more or less done. I would
Tyler,
say.
how much have you
What?
played? Just to clarify for everyone.
All right, one match took us like 40 minutes.
That's true.
But he
Alright.
watched like 4 million hours to get that,
No, I did
that
not.
key, so he's already
Nah,
in.
To
I
clarify-
watched 3 hours for mine.
To clarify, I did obtain an account that had one.
Oh.
So I didn't. So it was actually kind of funny how I stumbled upon it. So before Aiden even told me I had to do this, it was like a Tuesday. I get on, and my friends are like, "Hey, you want to play Valorant?" And I'm like, "Sure, let me download a thing." He's like, "No, I got one for you." And I'm like, "Whatever that means, sure." But I was just gonna make one. He's like, "Nah, it's really involved." And they didn't even tell me what I had to do to get the beta. He just had one because my friend's a fucking savage like that. And so he gave me the creds for it, and we hopped in a game, and the match took like 40 minutes because it's got a bajillion rounds. And I got to know like at least one of the characters. But like the way it played and everything, it's more or less a done game. Like I can imagine that they'll do some tweaking here and there, but it's a done game. Is it something that I'll play? Probably not. If I wanted to play a game like that, I'll probably just keep playing Overwatch or pick up Counter-Strike and get fucking decimated, fucking destroyed.
Yeah, that's the thing that keeps me from coming back to Counter-Strike is every time I go back in to get good again, I forget how bad I am. And everyone else reminds me.
It's how it be. It's how it be. I mean, like it's got its nice parts to it, but I don't think it's anything for me. And like I'm playing Call of Duty right now. I don't think this is enough to rip me away from Call of Duty with my friends.
It is a very slow game, and I find it boring as fuck to watch.
There are too many
I don't-
rounds, it seems like.
I don't mind how
it's first to
slow it is.
13, so you can have like 25 rounds
Oh my
before the
God.
fucking
Oh, it's the same problem
Yeah.
as Counter-Strike with first to 15. All right.
But dude, like,
Yeah.
nah,
First to
it's
8.
much.
Oh no,
slower.
wait, no. Counter-Strike is 8 out of 15. Yeah, no, this is way more in Valorant.
No,
Yes.
trust me. I watched a lot of I mean, obviously it's competitive. It's not like a typical player, but like like rounds in Counter-Strike go a lot quicker. Valorant rounds go fucking long.
Is the time to kill in Valorant pretty high?
Yes.
Eh,
Unless you
it's
get
like
headshots.
it's Counter-Strike. If you land headshots, they drop in 2 seconds. If they're body shots, you're not going to do all that much.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But they definitely structured this game a lot like Counter-Strike. It is Counter-Strike, but with superpowers,
And
which is the unique draw to this game.
Yeah, except every superpower is like vision
Overwatch
denial or like, well, yeah,
vision
that too.
I think the idea is that this game is supposed to not rely on the powers mostly for killing. Right?
But that's the thing. But like, what's the point though? Right. So that brings to my other point. Right. Like, what's the point of having a game with powers if you don't use them?
Flashbangs are boring.
Because I'll tell you what comes down to it. When it comes down to it, most people are just gonna end up shooting each other. Like, yeah, people will ult. That I like from what I have seen, like even on some streams that I have watched, it mostly just comes down to like, are you a better shot than the other person?
Yeah, and even with the alts, like I play. Oh God, I don't even know what she was called. The one with the knives.
Oh yeah, yo, her ult.
Yeah, like
it's
you might as well just use a fucking gun. It's the same thing as a gun. It's just knives.
Yeah, and you like I guess the positive is like, oh, no one's gonna hear the gunshots, right? And like,
yeah, I guess.
But like,
it doesn't matter
problem
though
is,
because when you
it's got no power to it,
walk.
and they'll probably kill you like before you can even throw the knives if you're on like hitting them dead on. But like, that's not the point. Also, they blatantly copied off of like Overwatch characters, and I'm not okay with this.
In terms of mechanics or in terms of like character archetypes?
I'm talking about this dude literally shoots a fucking sonic arrow that shows the exact positions of characters on the other side of the wall.
Yeah,
Simple geometry.
It's Hanzo. It's Hanzo.
They literally ripped Hanzo.
He also has an ability that is very much like a giant blue laser beam that shoots through terrain.
Oh no!
They literally took his.
Prey?
Yes.
God damn it!
They literally ripped it, and like that's a big problem for me too. I'm like, what? Like, why? Why are you gonna do this? You're literally just gonna rip fucking characters. It was bad enough that Paladins did it.
Yeah,
I forgot the name of that game until you just said Paladins.
Yeah, right.
Paladins was a bit more egregious.
Yes. Like they literally just took Reinhardt and like a couple and Reaper.
Yeah. But that was bad.
I don't know. I'm not like it has its good parts. I shouldn't harp on it too much. It does have its good parts. I just don't think I'm gonna end up playing it.
I do disagree with what Aiden said a while ago about it not being an esport. With how much Riot puts into League, I don't think it's physically possible for them to not put in enough money that people play this game no matter what.
Yeah, I saw what Blizzard did with the Overwatch League. It's just going to happen with a different company.
Yeah, like who watches Overwatch League, but it still exists.
Oh, sure. No. I'm not saying that this isn't going to exist as an esport. It is not going to be a successful esport. Like people aren't going to want to watch this. Like unless you watch like it because people find Counter-Strike slow and boring and this is slower than that.
Wait, this is slower?
This is slower than Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's slow.
Like very often rounds go until the time goes out. Like it's
slower than molasses.
Damn.
It's like
Way to
I don't
kill
know,
my
and
hype,
especially with all of like the vision denial and like all the let me put up this wall and shit. Like it's just it takes forever. So, I mean, like, I just don't think people are going to find it as engaging. Like, yes, it has huge Twitch viewership right now because that's how you get into the beta. That's the only way you can play this game right now. So, of course, there's going to be a bunch of people watching it because it's Riot and they have 50 million players on League of Legends. Like, so, I mean, that's just an inherent carryover, but I don't think a lot of people are going to find this all that entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
We'll
Then
see.
Again, I don't even watch it, so
Yeah, I don't watch Twitch.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Fuck
We'll
the
see how
kids.
it goes.
I think this is basically gonna go the way of Apex Legends. It's gonna be huge in the beginning, and then it's just gonna fall off as people lose interest. It'll still be around, but like
It'll still be big,
Like,
but it won't be
it's
one or
the
two.
hype crowd's gonna move on to something else.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Apex, at this point, is it basically back to PUBG as number 2 to Fortnite? Or would you say Apex is still number 2 to Fortnite?
Let's go to the Twitch
or Warzone,
numbers.
honestly. Yeah, Twitch.
Warzone is above. Warzone is actually has more viewers than Fortnite right now.
Sick.
Fuck.
We're playing the
Warzone
winner.
has 200,000 and Fortnite has 143,000.
Nah, see, I'd rather not, because I don't want the fucking squeakers.
I
in my
just saw
games.
a meme on Reddit earlier. I should have sent it.
All right, we got Valorant number 1, E-Girls at 2.
Jesus.
Why are so many people watching Slots Bar? It's more than Minecraft right now.
Can I just say how dumb it is? Like, every time on Reddit when live stream, live stream fails shows up on Reddit. Oh my, oh god, why is this? Stop playing audio.
Is this a joke that I'm too much of a Reddit user to understand?
What?
Because I don't, unless I subscribe to these subs, I never see them.
Oh. Oh yeah, you got what? I forget. Well, which sub did you find that in, Tim?
Which sub did what?
The sub you just mentioned, like live stream fails or something?
Oh, it's yeah, live stream fails. It shows up near the top of Reddit every couple days. Usually it's mostly about drama from Twitch people instead of actual.
Oh, I don't even look at the top of
What
Reddit.
the fuck is just
Yeah, more
chatting?
people are watching people play Animal Crossing than watching Overwatch.
What the fuck?
With Final Fantasy VII somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah,
Wait,
man.
What? Why is chat? Why does it say? What the fuck?
You alright?
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
MTG
Twitch-
is about to overtake
No.
NBA.
Twitch has started defaulting to
Sort by recommended,
recommended,
not
not
viewers.
viewers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why am I?
Yep.
Hey, I was super confused why Animal Crossing was number 1 when I loaded the page.
Oh my god. Who the fuck are all these loser people?
What? Playing
Alright,
what?
damn.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay. All right.
chatting.
Speaking of
Just chatting.
Nintendo,
Yeah. Speaking of losers, no, I'm kidding.
No, I thought we were trying to prove a point with looking at Twitch. Anyway, all right, moving on. Nintendo.
just
Absolutely
let's
no
move on.
one's surprised, just like they did with closing down online service for the DS and the Wii after their life cycles ended. Nintendo has started closing down the Wii U and 3DS eShops in mostly Latin America, but it's kind of indicating the end of life for those consoles, which is kind of interesting because I know with the Wii there were a lot of virtual console games. I don't know if there were any like completely original that you had to like digital download was the only way to get them. But at least with the 3DS, a big cost-cutting measure that very few companies, mostly Capcom, employed was only releasing digital versions of games, which means once the eShop closes down, those games are no longer accessible, like at all.
Damn.
So, for anyone who wants to play Phoenix Wright 5 and 6, good fucking luck. That series is as good as gone. It's bringing up a lot of questions regarding how Nintendo should go going forward, because Nintendo's current stance is when you buy a game, it's for that console and only for as long as we support that console. And it's 100% a you don't own it kind of mentality to it.
How can Nintendo build like it? I know it comes up every time I talk about Nintendo. How does Nintendo get away with building these games that people love, and every single other policy they have is so unbelievably like head buried in the sand, terrible?
Hey, man.
Look, if you want Nintendo, you go Nintendo. You want to watch a Disney movie, you're going to pay Disney. It's the way it is. There's enough I don't want to call them knockoffs, but variants out there. You want to play Mario Galaxy or Mario Odyssey? Go play A Hat in Time. You want to go play Pokemon? Go play Temtem. You want Legend of Zelda? Go play every other open world action game. Like there's non-Nintendo alternatives, but they thrive off of their brand image, and people care enough about that that they're willing to look over the technical side of it. Much like our brethren in Japan who don't know how to use a computer. So
yeah,
it's ignorance is bliss is a lot of what it is. Like most people screech, like as much as I love screeching about Pokemon, I was part of maybe like 10% of the like potential audience that Nintendo was like looking to promote this to.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's a lot of people out there who straight up do not give a shit, and as long as those people will pay, Nintendo doesn't care about those of us who are aware of their nonsense.
But I thought you were transitioning when you said speaking of Japan.
Our brethren, I know, they're stuck inside. None of the voice actors can record any Weeb shit for us to watch because we're on week 6 of almost nothing to talk about in the Weeb shit. So I'll go through real quick because a couple of these are okay. Most of these are just garbage news. First 2 is light novel announcements. Overlord announced that the 17th volume of the light novel is going to be the last one. And fans are super concerned because it hasn't. So far, they've kind of ignored the initial premise of the show. For anyone who watched the first episode of Overlord, dude's playing a video game at midnight. The game shuts down, but he wakes up and he's in the game. Apparently, the book's not going to cover how he got there, if he's going to get home, if anyone else got sucked in. Nothing about the premises really matters, which is interesting because it means that the premise doesn't matter. It was just an excuse to get you into a fantasy world.
Whoa, big surprise there.
Yeah. In a similar vein, Devil's a Part-Timer is ending with its 21st volume. I'm honestly shocked there were that many light novels for this series.
Yeah, really.
But unfortunately, there was not enough discussion for me to gauge whether they are going to wrap up the plotline for that. It seems like everyone who reads it is very in their own corner of the internet, and it's not a very big open discussion space like it is for Overlord.
It doesn't have an anime that came out in the last 5 years.
Dude, it doesn't have an anime that covers like more than 10% of this series.
That's also true. I mean, I didn't say I don't. I do. We talked about on this podcast how much I hope more with that show would come out. But
yeah, like one person in the forums was like, "Hey, do you think we'll get a season 2 to promote this?" Someone's like, "Why would they make an anime? Why would they animate books 3 and 4 to promote book 21?" And it's like you might have a point. But moving on,
I threw this in there, but I just saw a headline that the demolishing of the KyoAni studio that had been hit by that arson attack, that they actually did finish demolishing it. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, right now they still don't know what they want to do because Kyoto Animation, they don't want to build a new studio on the plot, and they also do not want to make a memorial out of it.
Right.
But they're concerned that whatever does go there, people are going to treat it like a memorial, so they're letting... the city of Kyoto figure out what they're going to do with that plot.
When you said, I was going to say, you said KyoAni doesn't know what they're doing next with that plot. They already have people.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't mean in terms of animation. I meant just in terms of the building.
Yes.
Yeah. No, well, most anime studios have no fucking clue what they're doing next because everything's kind of up in the air right now. Most animation studios have moved to this work from home thing. I don't know if I brought it up during the last Weeb shit or if this was discovered last week, but while most animation studios can continue drawing the shows with a work from home situation, voice actors in Japan cannot continue working. So unlike in the US where big prolific voice actors will just have a recording studio in their basement, mostly because in the US we record one actor at a time for most voice recordings. In Japan, generally the principal cast is all in the same room acting together, so it's less voice acting, more just acting with great quality microphones. And because they can't have everyone in person, they're just straight up not recording. And right now, I forget who published an article, but basically the voice acting industry might collapse if no one has work for another 3 weeks. Like the union is falling apart. So we have that to look forward to, which means any show that was scheduled to go on later in the year is going to have complications regarding the acting talent. So any show that tries to trick you into thinking it's airing, don't trust them because the Japanese are hiding shit they don't want you to know. So far for this season, only one currently airing show has come out and said, yes, we will be airing all 12 episodes of this season. That show is Bookworm.
Yay!
Because they took a season off to do it in advance. Every other show is completely unwilling to comment. Even shows that like previously claimed, oh yeah, we had an amazing productions, we're so ahead of schedule, like nothing can cause a delay. Kaguya-sama is that show. And even then when they're straight up asked, like, will there be any delays this season? They're like, well, we refuse to comment.
Damn.
Which straight up means like, no, we didn't finish it, but we do not want to tell you because we are Japanese and that's how we operate. We just assume everything's fine until it's not, and then we'll tell you it's not. Which I can't stand about the industry. It's why we get like announcements like 4 weeks before a show is going to come out that it even exists. Like you can't rock the boat. You have to keep everything under wraps until like, oh, it's 4 weeks from now. So every show will be canceled on a week-to-week basis, which is infuriating because I don't know which shows to start.
Bookworm.
Oh, I mean, Bookworm's the obvious one. Kaguya is obvious because it's like the best one airing the season.
Is Tower of God not real?
So I'm willing to bet Tower of God will be finished.
I thought you or someone said it was all finished.
So again, it's one of those shows that had a very luxurious production schedule.
Luxurious production. That just sounds funny.
Yeah, well, that's the terminology they use. So if anyone's really bored during quarantine and wants to understand how the actual like the process of making an anime works, they made an anime about this called Shirobako, and it's a great show. It shows from start to finish these 4 characters who they start off as like a high school club making anime, and then halfway through the first episode it jumps ahead and they all work in different parts of the industry. You have someone who runs a show, you have a voice actor, you have someone who does CG work, and then you have an actual animator, and it follows like their struggle to make this one poorly thought out anime. And it's very entertaining. Like Hideki Anno makes an appearance in the show. There's a lot of characters who are straight up references to like famous animators in the industry. If you want to understand like the process start to finish, go watch that show. So when I say luxurious, I mean it, because it means that they have time to not just be crunching from like the moment episode 1 airs to when episode 12 finishes.
Damn.
But we won't know about most of these until it's already too late. Moving on real quick. So for the longest time, Disney owned the rights to Pokemon and was airing like new episodes every week or something. For the new season of Pokemon, Disney was like, yeah, we don't have the license to it. And everyone's like, all right, well, who has it? And of course, Netflix had it the entire time and didn't want to say anything. So Netflix, unlike everyone else who's ever owned the Pokemon license, is not doing weekly releases. And it's like, we're just going to every 12 weeks release the episodes. Because like that's what kids do. They check Netflix every 3 months, say, hey, that Pokemon show that I was watching, let me watch the next 12 in a binge. And I don't get it. Like, does their research say that 10-year-olds do this too?
Damn.
Because like the big thing about Pokemon, especially with like DBZ, was we would have like 2-month breaks where there was no new episodes out, and then there would be a new episode every day. So you got kids watching your network or your channel every day at 3 o'clock because you knew that Pokemon was on, which meant you could slap whatever the fuck you wanted at 3:30 for free advertising. But for a show like this, I don't like. It's not made to be binged. It's made to be watched weekly. So I don't know what Netflix is doing.
Just Netflix.
I feel like I say that a lot. Just Netflix things. Moving on to good news. For anyone who has watched Evangelion but hasn't watched the new Rebuild movies, in anticipation of EVA 4.0 that was supposed to come out this month but isn't, they put the first 3 EVA Rebuild movies on YouTube for free. So if you haven't watched those, they're very entertaining. A completely different retelling of the Evangelion plotline. Tyler, do you like the Rebuild movies or do you not like the Rebuild movies?
I like them so far.
So I didn't like 3, but I like the others.
3?
I like the end of 3. I just didn't like 3 as a whole.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, 3 felt like a straight up Trigger animation.
Oh yeah.
With the ship.
Gotcha. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying.
Yes.
And I was like, man, this is a little ridiculous, but I'm still feeling it. I think they're kind of interesting so far. I think I will say, I think they're just gonna go in the same direction of being like confusing, but whatever. Fuck it. Evangelion, some confusing shit.
The worst part is like the 3rd movie came out and Anno was like, yeah, the 3rd movie's gonna come out and then movie 4 is gonna come out the next week in theater. So it's meant to be this short gap between viewing 3 and 4. And I can't believe he thought that was what was gonna happen. Because like 3 finishes production and he hasn't started the 4th movie. And he's like, yeah, I'll just delay this movie for like another 5 years till 4 is done. And the studio's like, oh, we don't have the money to do that. So it just kind of released in the state of expecting to come back to the theater next week to watch movie 4, and then movie 4 just hasn't happened yet.
Awkward turtle.
Yeah. Nah, Shin Godzilla was way too important. That had to happen next.
Don't.
Was it? Though?
Oh wait, no, Shin's not the anime. Never mind.
No.
Still
Shin
watch
Godzilla was
Shin.
actually good.
I haven't watched it, but I heard that.
Yeah, but I don't care enough about Shin Godzilla.
Understandable. I do care much more about Eva 4 than I do about Shin Godzilla. Anyway, moving on is our transition into what we watched or did during quarantine.
Wait, before you say that, there was one other piece of news we forgot to add on here, but I messaged about it earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if it'll still even be up by the time this comes out, but for 24 hours there was a laid back camp special on YouTube, but it had no captions. But I'm sure that means that someone will rip it off YouTube, put captions on it, and re-upload it somewhere.
I'm sailing real quick. Let's see if we can find this in one Google search.
But I just wanted to put it out there because Laid Back Camp just had that short special series, and it looks like this is about the one character who wasn't in the series at all. So yeah, that's more Laid Back Camp, especially right now, is great. But go ahead, Freeman. That was it.
No, I couldn't. I'm on my third search and I can't find it. I'm wondering if the Laid Back Camp subreddit has it.
Just
Hold on.
Processing.
Yeah,
Processing.
no fucking subs. Wow, what a useless subreddit. All right.
Damn.
Moving on. So I've started the project since I can't trust any of these shows coming out this season to actually air. I'm just gonna start working on like shows that I've been planning for a long time to watch. And I started watching the first season of Symphogear. Up till episode 10, whatever, the show sucked. I'm going to describe to you the plot of episode 10 because I can't believe what I just watched. So for context, Symphogears are robot armors people where they have to sing to power, hence the Sympho and Symphogear.
Oh, it's this show.
And in episode 10, they reveal the scientist is actually the main villain who's an alternate personality that's been in every major leader for all of time that moves genetically but also not genetically. And this evil entity once was in love with God, but when humans built the Tower of Babel, God's like, fuck it, I don't like you anymore, and sent her wherever. So this scientist who's not the scientist, but is actually the benevolent spirit, is super salty about the Tower of Babel and said, I need to blow up the moon because it's the symbol of hatred. And I'm like, what the fuck is this Naruto plotline? So then they reveal that the elevator shaft of their secret base was actually a space cannon the entire time. So she just attempts to launch the elevator at the moon, which, by the way, none of these were plot points in the first 9 episodes. So she attempts to launch at the moon to explode it. And I came out of that episode to do this podcast. And I want to describe, this is fucking terrible, and I love every second of it. So if any of you want some weird-ass 2012, let's make up some bizarro plotline to have teenagers in robot uniforms, this is the show to watch.
It's funny you're saying this because having watched Giguk and Mother's Basement's 2020 preview videos... Mother's Basement was like, this show is starting out great. And Giguk was like, this show is starting off badly. It's just funny to see anime YouTubers not always agreeing.
A lot of them have very different tastes. I know so as someone who's been with Giguk since he used to be known as the Anime Zone.
With Giguk.
Like, I've been a subscriber since the early days. He, in the last couple seasons, he like straight up hasn't watched half the shit he talks about. So his opinion on stuff is all very surface level. Even the shows where he's like, I loved it, a lot of them he hasn't watched more than half of it. So I go more for the memes rather than the recommendations. Like, honestly, for the most part, except for like a couple outliers where I have very different opinions, Mother's Basement is usually a pretty good recommender of quality shows.
Okay.
That or
Giguk
like
is funny as shit a lot of the time.
Yeah, I go to Giguk for the memes. Anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox and stop promoting this garbage anime. Anyone else want to promote some garbage anime?
Well, I mean, the only anime right now that we're watching is Bookworm. Bookworm's still very fun. It's
But that's all you guys are watching?
Yeah, for anime.
Dang.
We still haven't watched fucking Violet movie or found a copy.
Oh, shit, I gotta watch that.
Oh, wait. No. We watched the Konosuba movie since last time.
Oh, hell yes.
That movie was quite funny.
Yeah,
that was a good time.
Amazing.
I wish I had gotten to see it with you three. Luigi, not Aiden, because Aiden didn't go. But I wish I had gone to the theater with you guys, because you guys talk about how you were laughing hysterically was like a hilarious image in my head whenever it got real funny on screen.
Yes,
dude, we were dying.
That was one of the best theatrical experiences I've ever had.
I don't know why anyone else in the theater wasn't dying like we were. We were
definitely the weirdos in that theater.
Yeah, I went into this movie. We got fucking eye shirts going in there. Some
Just to
fucking
clarify, not us. We saw other people with
we saw other
we
people.
were dressed normally.
Yeah, we were dressed like fucking regular people, and we're not even wearing questionable content. We go in there, we're the only ones dying, and everybody's
I
like,
think Luigi was the only one wearing an anime shirt in our group. The rest of us, you and I were dressed pretty normally.
and it was tame shit though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Hey man, maybe we're the weirdos.
Maybe we were the monsters all along.
Maybe we're the monsters all along. Let's see. What have I been watching? I want to say what I've been watching.
Go for it. I remembered something very important I watched, but I'll save it for the end.
No, I've just been watching Tower of God. It's kind of confusing, as in like they haven't been explaining what's going on.
What's going
But
on?
Oh, I'm caught up with it now. Actually, no. Did episode 5 come out already?
I don't know if episode 5 came out. I
If
don't
it
think
if
so.
it didn't, then I'm caught up.
I usually watch
No,
it
it
on
comes out
Wednesdays.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I am caught up for the next 24 hours.
I mean, I like it. I think it's cool.
My friend who really loves the manhwa said that it's popular because of the way they slowly trickle information to you. So we're supposed to feel very confused, and supposedly it's gonna eventually
Pick
pan
up.
out. The problem is,
Okay.
I'm concerned that it's not going to happen in the first 12 episodes.
And
Like, if
for
someone told
some
me, like, oh, the
reason,
big reveal would happen in season 3, it's kind of like, I don't know if I'm sticking around for that. It's got
that's
to hold my attention
understandable.
now, especially when we don't know if there's going to be a season 3.
Yeah, true. I don't know. For some reason I'm okay with just being like along for the ride on this. I don't know why. It's different this time.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes, I don't like, I both like and don't like using the phrase turn your brain off, but one side it's just like, I'm just going to stop thinking like, why is everyone here, and just let it play out. It's entertaining to watch it play out if you don't really think too hard about why it's happening.
Yes. Like even though things shouldn't be like that, it's fine. I'm just gonna just do it, man. Watching Ozark. Some normie shit.
Oh yeah, my
So I
parents
wanted to
watched
watch
that
that.
show.
Yeah, it's cool. I finished season 2 and now I'm on season 3.
My parents said 3 is the best it gets. So
Really, because I think it's flying off the fucking handles in terms of the plot. But hey, man, we'll see. Like, as in, like it feels like it's getting a little out of hand, like almost like comic-y, I guess. I don't know what you'd call it. Like, it's getting a little weird, but it's still good. I'm still gonna watch it. It's still interesting, and the plot is grabbing my attention, so I'm gonna keep watching it. I also started Initial D Fifth Stage.
Ooh boy.
And I watched the first 3 episodes. So that's so I've had a lot of stuff keeping my attention lately.
All right.
That's pretty much all the things that I've watched.
Aiden, have you watched anything before we get to all the games you've played 1,000 hours of in the last 2 weeks?
No, I can't say that I've actually watched anything. I've just been watching YouTube videos. I haven't consumed any like media otherwise aside from games.
That's fair. I don't talk about it, but I obviously have been watching a lot of YouTube, especially Magic, because I don't play Magic anymore. Haha.
Oh yeah, I finally started watching a Covert Go Blue, and started watching what it's like to really be a control Magic player.
Oh, I mostly watch EDH shit.
Gotcha.
The CEDH channels have been popping off. Real quick, the only other show I've been watching, I almost forgot. Brooklyn Nine-Nine still has a new season that's coming out right now, and it's out on Hulu every week. So me, Val, and her sisters have been watching that every week. It's pretty good.
I'm still on season 2. I need to just make some time to watch it. It's so funny.
Yeah, I do feel like more like the earlier seasons were more consistently funny. Every episode still makes me laugh, but
Is there more like a swing to it now? Like there's some that are very funny, and some that just aren't.
Like, you know the Halloween heist episodes? How those are always a big deal? The one this season happened like 2 or 3 episodes ago, and it was almost definitely the weakest one by far because they have to keep trying to ramp it up every year, and it's just
it's hard to keep doing that.
It's just not very funny anymore. It's like, okay, it's one of those cases where it's like you can't trust what you're seeing on screen because you know someone's bullshitting in some ridiculous way. We've talked about it with other shows and movies and stuff before, but it's like, why even care what's happening when we know that it's all just bullshit, smoke and mirrors? But now moving on to video games.
Wait, real quick. I didn't talk about the 2 anime I finished. One was Astro Lost in Space. I didn't think I was going to end up giving the show a 10 out of 10, but I did just because of how well they executed building a mystery and having an actually satisfying ending.
Wow.
The start of the show is kind of misleading. It seems like it's going to be this like happy shonen bullshit, but it's a very cool show about people getting lost in space. And then my disappointment was I finished Interspecies Reviewers last night. And I can safely say the show definitely like lost its novelty after episode 8, especially when the finale was they didn't introduce a new species. They're like, let's just go to a brothel that just has shapeshifters and relive the best of the season.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck you. So it was fun. It was entertaining. It was quite the experience. I recommend all weebs at some point experience this borderline hentai. But this is not the kind of show I'm ever going to rewatch because it wasn't that entertaining after the first shock value. Now we can talk about games.
So there was a game that came out that was called Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh man, I'm so close to being done.
Aiden beat it in like 2 days, and then Tyler beat it like 3 days ago, and Freeman's about to beat the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very soon. It's probably happening this weekend.
Where are you at?
So I just rescued Aerith in Red 13, and then Cloud like collapsed, woke up in Aerith's old room, and that's where the next chapter starts. And I paused that last night at like midnight.
Gotcha.
He's almost there.
Yeah, you don't have much to go.
There are some interesting changes they made here and there, like allusions to Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII that I think are fun, but not like in your face. But
we'll be talking about that when you're done.
Oh boy, I cannot. I have a playlist of 50 videos that I know have Final Fantasy VII ending spoilers in that I can't wait to watch. But like, I'm sitting in this weird area where everyone else has already beaten it but me, but I just don't have time to sit down and finish it in one go.
Nah, dude. No, slow down and savor it, man.
I know, that's what I'm doing. That's why like every side quest I've done. But like it's getting difficult. Like spoiler details are leaking into like everyday shit that I'm like struggling to avoid now, and I'm pretty sure I know the ending now.
Like even Donkey's video from today.
I had 2 of my coworkers link this video to me, and I was like, I can't watch. There's spoilers.
I was gonna say, I like immediately after I saw the video, I was like, don't watch the video.
Yes, you were like in all caps in the chat. Yeah, I saw that before anyone had linked the video to me, but like, I clicked on the video when it came out, and I was like, and I paused it a second, going, no, I know Donkey, he's gonna ruin something. So I put it in my to watch after I beat FF7 playlist.
Yes. I liked it.
You liked what? The game or Donkey's video?
I like this game.
Okay.
I like Donkey's video also because he agrees with me. No, there are some things I disagree with him on, but like overall, he pretty much hit the nail on the head about my feelings towards this game.
Did he bitch about filler content?
Yes, he did.
I mean, everybody.
I figured that's everyone's major.
Everybody did though. I bitch about filler content.
Yeah, well, we had that conversation today about like, we got however much of the game, except it was like 40 hours instead of 6 hours.
Yeah.
So like, and I think, honestly, I think Donkey had a point, and this isn't spoilers, but like, there is a clear distinction between the things that are faithful and true to the original and like the new shit that's in the game.
There is some new shit though that I think really adds a lot of value. Like I haven't seen anyone talk about it yet, but like
for sure.
Like when you first break into the Shinra town, they're like, here, go through this like tourism section. And it's fun seeing the Shinra propaganda. Like it did a lot to sell you on like what's the image of the company outside of you knowing like we're terrorists and we're taking down this company. Like it was cool to see that, and that was definitely new for this release. But and then you have stuff like just the new characters or like Leslie with his subplot, who were very clearly you could remove those and everything is still exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, I like the extra stuff regarding like Avalanche and like how like that whole setup
Their
and how
like
they
structure
work.
of their organization.
Yeah, and like you get more story about like from like Jesse and Biggs and Wedge. Which all that I like, but there is a lot of the cat's meowing at me.
Best scene in the whole game.
Oh my god, I've watched it like 5 times. The song is still stuck in my head. I love this scene. It doesn't matter how out of place it is. I love it.
Freeman, I wish you would use your time to play Yakuza 0.
I know, because it's going to be just like that.
It is so much that, and I could finally talk to someone about
Tim,
Yakuza 0.
Because you watched me play that scene.
Yes, I did. And
I've seen enough of you.
I went, look at this Yakuza 0.
I do own Yakuza 0. I have it on Steam now. But unfortunately, after I'm done with 7, I have to do a coin flip. Am I going to force myself to finish 10, which I don't, Final Fantasy 10, which I don't really want to do, or am I going to start Witcher 3? It's probably going to end up being finish Final Fantasy 10 because I'm right at the end of the game. But Witcher 3 is my next priority, and then Yakuza will probably come after that.
Yay! It's funny you mentioned
assuming
10.
no new games come out.
Because someone else here started playing 10 while Tyler was finishing 7.
I did start playing 10 for the 3rd time.
Damn.
The furthest I've ever made it was the lightning fields, but this time I think I'm gonna actually beat the game.
I'm not that much farther beyond that.
You never beat it, Aiden?
No, honestly, I have.
No, 10 has this problem. Like,
I don't think 10 is a bad game, but there's something about it that I just can't get into.
10 has the JRPG break problem where if you come back and you don't remember what you were doing, it's impossible to get back into what you were doing.
Sure, but Aiden usually finishes games in like one sitting, it seems like, so I'm just impressed.
Controversial opinion, I'm not having that much fun with 10.
Is that controversial? I feel like more time I hear people go, I know the majority loves this, but I don't like it.
For the longest time, 10 was like the second most popular after 7.
All my friends, except for Aiden, and I guess now Freeman, are not about it.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just not having fun in the second half.
Wait, are not about it?
Yeah.
So they all don't really like it?
No. His friends like it. We don't. Is what he's saying.
Oh,
we're the only ones who aren't in the camp of joy.
Sorry. Yeah, the way you said it made me think that all your friends also didn't like it.
All my friends.
No, most people love it.
They love it. Got it.
Yeah, they like.
I have the true controversial opinion, and I think 8 is a good game.
It is literally the controversial opinion.
Oh, okay. I enjoy the characters of 8. I don't like the gameplay of 8.
I like that game a lot.
Damn.
I still want to beat it.
Do you?
Yes. Fun fact, in high school, I said I would beat every Final Fantasy, and I let myself down super hard because I've only played like half of them.
Yeah, I told myself that I'd beat all the ones in PlayStation, and I did it. I'm not shooting for the stars there, so it was a reasonable goal.
For a while, I was jumping around. I did 4, then 7, then 13. And I figured if I follow that pattern, then 10 is the one I'm missing in that pattern. So I need to beat 10 to say I did that. 6, I've beaten half of it. Now I'm at the point where it's like I can't just jump back into it.
What about 9?
What about 9? Is it worth playing?
I like 9. 9 is good.
I think 9 is cool. It's a more traditional Final Fantasy game.
Gotcha.
In terms
it's
of like
closer to 6 than it is to 7.
Yeah. They were literally like, yo, let's go back to the ye old drawing board for this game. And like do a lot of the more traditional things that we used to do. In that game. I thought it was cool. It had a nice story. I don't think it was as memorable though as like some of the other Final Fantasy games. Like 7 was memorable, and like I'll say even 8 had its moments.
Yeah.
But like this one was just like a fun game.
I'll consider it. The problem is I'm never going to get to any of these games ever. I still haven't beaten Life is Strange 2.
get destroyed.
God damn it! I still need to play that.
I mean, you could just bang that out.
Yeah, I can do that in like a night.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll try and see if I can beat it on Sunday before D&D.
Will you though?
I don't know.
Press X
I'm
it
gonna
out.
call you out.
Well, actually, no. Until Final Fantasy VII is done, I'm not even considering this.
Yeah, play till completion.
Yeah, there we go. That answers that.
So who was playing stuff? Oh, we were playing Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been playing a lot of Modern Warfare,
Yeah,
a lot of Warzone,
more.
and man, it just gets sweaty. And sometimes you have bad games, sometimes you have some good games.
And when you have those bad games, you want to never play Call of Duty again. And when you have those good
I just
games, you're
take a
like, this was
break.
okay.
No, you don't ever want to play again.
And yet,
I'm like, I'll just come
and
back
yet-
later
and yet, who said we were going to play a 4 after this game, after the podcast?
with my 458 SOCOM rounds.
Maybe it's because I don't.
Fucking-
Maybe it's because I don't spend enough time messing around in the gunsmith like you and Aiden do.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Really,
I'm kidding.
Like,
It's just funny because I watched you do that for 20 minutes straight yesterday.
Yeah, yo, because Tim, you know I have a problem. That's I have a problem that loans itself to me. See, like, and it's funny, right? Because I was never the type to spend like a half hour in the character creation, like, you know, like everybody else
Dude,
I
I
knew in
never
an
do that.
RPG.
Oh my god. I spend more time in character creator than I do playing the actual game most of the time.
See, most people, right? That's what most people do in RPGs, unless like, you know, they're shoehorned ones like, you know, The Witcher or some shit like that, right? But like, man, I found myself like going through everything. I'm like, oh, maybe like I could fuck with this, like this, I could do this, blah blah blah. And like, it was all for one gun, like one or two guns too. And I'm like, is this it? Is this my character select screen?
When it's a gun.
But it's a gun, exactly. Oh, I've also been playing, but that goes without saying. Aiden got me into playing Disco Elysium. The 2019 game of the year.
Oh, the one we were watching play the other day, the like not really text adventure.
Yes. I gotta say, it's like right up my alley. It's the combination of like a detective novel and like so much world building.
Tyler, this is it. We found the thing you can talk to Ed about at my bachelor party.
Oh,
Ed,
what?
Ed and Alvin are both playing that game right now.
Really?
Yes. And Ed
Oh, wow.
loves it.
You know what? Ed would like that game. I like after playing it for at least like a couple hours, I get why.
Yeah, Ed actually was talking about starting over with a different character, but he's really enjoying it.
Yeah, I really like that game. If you like point and click adventures that really don't tell you how to do anything or what to do,
And are
it's
weird.
not like it's weird and it's indie as fuck, but it's like it's pretty cool. But it's not, so far I haven't found any issues where it's like, oh, you have to, like, I'll give you an example from like Grim Fandango where it's like, oh, how are you supposed to get up to like the fifth ledge of this skyscraper? Oh, you didn't know that you had to take these ties and tie them together and then tie them to a trophy and then make a grappling hook out of it? How could you not know that?
Yeah.
Like, this one is like kind of sensible. Like, it makes a lot of like things make sense. It's like, okay, for example, you have to figure out a way to like get this body down from a tree, and you're like, well, how do I do this? And it go like you're, and it's like another mechanic of the game is having like a self-internalized thought with all of your different emotions talking to you. So it's like Inside Out, but except like really fucked up. Um, and so you go like you systematically go through different options of like how you want to go about getting this body down from the tree, because it's not like you have you have like a crude ladder, but you know it won't support your weight. You don't have a saw, and it's like you might have to recruit help, but it's help that you don't really want.
Hmm.
So you have to like come up with different creative solutions on how to get from point A to point B and like, point like, from point one and everything. And like if you fuck up a check, it's like you could save scum it, or you could like, just
Roll with it.
continue rolling with it and see where it goes from there. Because Aiden and I are playing like we're almost about at the same length of in-game time, I should say, but our paths have like almost severely deviated from each other.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It is pretty cool, and like depending on how you play it, you can like brute force your way through a lot of stuff, or you can, diplomat your way, kind of like your standard RPG like Fallout or something like that. But I do recommend so far that if you haven't played this game or whatever, like starting off probably with like the intelligence shit is probably good because it gives you a lot more detail about the world.
Hmm.
But that's also like a personal preference thing.
Yeah, you and your world building.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing.
I beat a game since last time. The Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
That game is really good and not great in places. I mean, it's like every open world game where some aspects of it are fantastic, like the whole idea of cooking and like the temperature and stuff is pretty fun, but then I don't know, combat in that game, I hate.
Turn up economy.
You're
talking about Animal Crossing, right?
No,
Oh
Breath of the
God.
Wild.
Oh, Breath of the Wild. Oh, same
Animal
thing.
Crossing is Rachel's shtick. No, Breath of the Wild is a really cool open world. It has the problem with open world games where they give you so much that even though a lot of the rewards for like the minor quests are shit, you eventually just become like I didn't do probably half of the content in that game. I did almost no side quests. I did all the main quests. I did some side quests, and I did the Champion's Ballad DLC. I didn't fully upgrade my Master Sword, and I did no side quests, really, beyond, like, ones that I literally stumbled on. And I found all the towers and, like, 60 shrines. And I defeated Ganon on my first shot. Like, no real problem.
Oh, it wasn't even a struggle?
Not really, no. Actually, the biggest struggle... Aiden, you finished the game, you said. Or no, you didn't.
You didn't beat Ganon.
You didn't beat Ganon. So
I did not beat Ganon. That's the only thing I haven't done in that game.
So in the Ganon fight, you fight Ganon as normal, and I did that, and then you go outside and you fight Final Beast Ganon or whatever. And there's a point where he has this targeting spot you have to shoot with a special bow, and it kept blinking on top of his head, and I'm like, how? I can't time this. I'm shooting it constantly, and nothing counts. And then Zelda goes, Link, ride the updraft, and I'm like, oh. Sometimes the game is like too obtuse for its own good. Man, it's really fun to like cook stuff, but cooking in mass would be great. Instead of go into your inventory, hold 5 things, throw them on the fire, watch the animation, get the thing, do the thing again. It's one of those things where I can tell so many people put so much time and effort into this, and it's almost like the gameplay wasn't, like the core combat wasn't given as much love. Because like shooting arrows off the paragliding and everything is fun, but basic swordplay, it's like the enemies have like no wind up half the time, and you either are really powerful or things just kill you in a second. And it's, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. The Champion's Ballad DLC, the final reward for that is both the coolest and lamest thing ever. If you beat the Champion's Ballad DLC, all of your 4 main powers get upgraded so they charge faster, and if you beat the final boss, you get a motorcycle. Which is great because I literally ignored horses for that entire game. Who cares about horses at all? Aiden can attest you don't need a horse.
Nope,
like,
not at all.
You just run or teleport. Like, if you unlock every tower in the game, congratulations, you can just glide off a tower and probably not need a horse. Or you're climbing a mountain. But, like, it was hard to get attached to any gear in this game, which the weapons break every 3 seconds, but even the armor being like, you have to wear this armor to go here and this armor to go here because of temperature. You couldn't really get a cool build. And like, there's all this mechanics, like upgrading your gear at ferries and doing all these side quests for money and like yada yada yada. And I just ignored so much of that and beat Ganon so easy. I'll probably buy the second game when it comes out because I'm interested to see what a sequel Zelda looks like. But this is like the most 10 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 game. Mostly 10 out of 10, but like I said, that basic sword combat is really frustrating at times. Like the fact that with Link, if you're standing still and your sword isn't drawn, to start your charging for a power attack, you have to press X to draw your sword, then start holding X after Link gets in his ready stance. If you do it too early, he won't do it. Like, it's just those minor things where I'm like, just let me hold X from nothing. Don't make it so frustrating with these in-between steps. But overall, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a really good game, honestly. But yeah, it's fun. I've also been playing a lot of Civ 4, like I said, with my friends Alvin and Ed. Civ 4 is still the only Civ game I've ever gotten into since 3. I still haven't played 5 and 6 at all, but 4 is a lot of fun. And I also started replaying Sins of a Solar Empire the other day because I've been so bored with work going very slow. So yeah, just strategy games all over. I downloaded Yakuza 2, still haven't played it. I need to start it soon, but I keep finding excuses not to for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nervous about getting into another big game right now, but...
how long do the Yakuza games usually take to beat?
I can tell you exactly how long I put into each game on Steam, because as soon as I beat them, I never touch them again. Yakuza 0 was 65 hours, and Yakuza Kiwami was 29 hours. Now, I will say I played 0 and then Kiwami, but I didn't care about the side stuff in Kiwami nearly as much as I did it in 0, but also probably some of 0's time is just leaving the game sitting there. But either way.
I realized playing predominantly RPGs as a kid, when you say that this is a long game and it takes you 65 hours, my thought is, that's not that long. Most games should be 40 hours. But I realized that's actually not how long most games are, and I'm very biased.
Yes. Just want to get your money's worth out of it.
Kind of.
How you feel, however much you think the value of the game is how, like...
So,
I feel like
even as much as I complain about Call of Duty, I know I got my value out of Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I remember back when I was living with my grandfather, he used to complain, like, how much did you spend on this video game? Like $60. Like, you could have seen 6 movies for that. I'm like, I sat through like 20 movies playing this game.
Yeah, like the value of that is kind of,
It's very nice.
Like I technically bought Modern Warfare twice.
Yes, and you're still happy with it.
And like, I pretty much have got my money's worth twice out of it, and I haven't played it as much as everybody else either. So I think it's still alright. I mean, I am gonna probably sell my PS4 copy.
I'm surprised you don't have any friends who are like asking for a copy or something right now. Or they all have it.
Actually, oh right, no, I remember what I did. I told my buddy he could just have it because I was like, "Fuck it, you can just have it." But he's like, "No, I'll give it back so you can like sell it or whatever." I'm like, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
But whatever. It's not like a huge deal anyway.
Aiden, can you give us your litany of games you've been playing since other than Final Fantasy?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. What have I been playing? I'm still playing Disco Elysium because it's a good game, and anybody that likes RPGs should play that game because it's a good RPG. I picked up a new like little city builder called Kingdoms and Castles. That's been kind of my
Is that on Steam?
Yeah, it was on sale for like $10. It's a neat little like mindless city builder. Like it's not overly complex. and it keeps me entertained when I'm like not really doing a whole lot of other stuff.
Kind of looks
Like
mobile game-esque.
kind of. It doesn't. It certainly doesn't feel like a mobile game though. I would say that's more the art style than anything.
Honestly, I've
but
been looking for a game. Maybe I'll just get this.
It's a good little simplistic city builder. I mean, you still have like goals and stuff. You want to like build up your kingdom and defend yourself from dragons and shit like that.
The art style's cute.
But that's fun. It's like a it's a good relaxation, unwind kind of game. I picked up Final Fantasy X, and I'm still playing that. It's still Final Fantasy X.
Which part are you up to?
I just got to Luca.
Okay.
So I am going to take part in the first instance of the most terrible Final Fantasy minigame in history.
You mean the
And
greatest
that is
three-dimensional sport of
Blitzball.
all time, Blitzball.
Yeah. Well, good old Blitzball. Yeah, it's certainly no triple triad, but I'll have to live with it. So yeah, that I'm playing that. I picked up Destiny 2 again because I'm a savage and I really like looter shooters at the moment, but I don't want to get Borderlands 3 because I don't like that studio.
Understandable.
And my RTS that I picked up was Planetary Annihilation. Been playing a little bit of that. What happened?
I kickstarted that game. I have it.
And
I tried it. And
trying
I'm like,
to
this
annihilate
was so.
some planets.
See, that trailer got me. Back when I was in my Kickstarter days. I haven't touched that game since like it came out, and I was like, this is not nearly as fun to play as it was to look at.
Yeah, I like this game. I've been having a good time with it. I'm playing the expansion, the Titans expansion.
I don't even know if I have it.
Yeah, I've been having a good time with it. I have like 10 hours in it so far. I've been playing a game of like Galactic War or whatever the hell it's called. To cover the Dark Souls itch, I got Hyper Light Drifter, a game that I've been interested in for a while but haven't really picked up.
That game was hard.
Yeah, Freeman talked about
dropped it in the middle.
This is why I got it, to fill that Dark Souls void.
I forgot. We're talking to Mr. Sekiro here.
Yes, sir. Other than that, the only other game I've been playing on top of those fucking 10 that I just listed is Warhammer Vermintide 2.
Ooh.
And I've also been dabbling in that, and I've been having a good time with it. They fixed all the issues that horrendous update from like probably last year screwed up the entire game, but the game is like playable again and is actually enjoyable and fun. And that's what I've wasted my life doing over the last week of quarantine.
Really quick, the only other game I've been playing is actually Alvin and Ed got me to install SWAT 4 again.
Oh, shit.
Freeze, get on the ground.
Alvin is like the new Tyler.
As you just hear pop, 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 pop.
Alvin's like the new Tyler. Freeman, you probably wouldn't expect that, but he just is like, yo, let's just go in and shoot people. We all just die.
Just go in
like,
guns blazing.
It's not coordinated at all. Ed's trying to like wand under doors, and Alvin just opens the door in front of his face.
Jesus
I wish you were recording this. I want to see Ed play this game.
I mean, I offered to have you guys join if you wanted for more people.
Yeah, but I was in the middle of Final Fantasy VII.
It's the same, Final Fantasy VII.
It was a tempting offer though.
But yeah, that's it.
All right. We all done here? Anyone else have anything you wanted to add on last minute?
Can't think of anything.
All right.
I think we're done. So
Well,
until
that's
next
that.
time, I don't know when it'll be. Kind of skipping a week seems to have given us all the news we could.
Yeah, we got like nothing to talk
scrounge
about if we
for a
do this week to
podcast.
week.
Yeah, so we'll see when we're back again. Can't promise this next week, but we will be back. But until that time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
The Amazing AIDS.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.